For this assignment, you're going to be making a concept map based on the words from the card sort for photosynthesis and respiration. So before I get into explaining how you're going to make the concept map for those particular topics, I thought it might be good to go over what I think of as a concept map for something you're all very familiar with, because I know you just took a test on this. These are all volleyball words. So just like you're going to have words from photosynthesis and respiration written on all of those cards, and you're going to make those into a concept map, think of these words as, again, words on cards. Okay? And we need to organize them so that we show connections between the words. So the first thing we're going to do is the same thing we did with the cards, is we're going to sort them into groups. So I'm going to have a group that is the equipment, so like volleyball, whistle, and net. Okay. Another group that's the people involved in volleyball, so coach, referee. Oh, I have two coaches. All right, so you've got a main coach and an assistant coach, and our setter. And the last category is going to be all of the kind of the moves, because they're not all hits, but all the actions that you might take in volleyball. Okay, so they go together. So this has three groups, just like your sample one does, just like photosynthesis, respiration, and both. I'm going to give these three groups names, and those names are going to be in a different color. I would like you to do this when you make your concept map as well. So you're going to write your three sets of groups in one color, and then finally do the names for those groups in a second color. So remember, this was my equipment. And these were the people. And these were the types of volleyball moves, we'll call them. It's probably a more official name, but that works for me. So now we can see how we've grouped up the likenesses into three separate sets. Now we're going to start making connections within those. So I'm going to say, for example, the setter sets the volleyball. Now notice I made an arrow pointing in this direction for a reason. It tells me that I need to start with setter and read the arrow in the direction that it's pointing. So setter is what I'm reading first, sets is what I'm reading second, and volleyball is what I'm reading third. Okay, so the direction of the arrow is very important. Otherwise it would read volleyball sets setter, and that doesn't make any sense. Okay, let's look at some other things. I'm going to put the serve connected to net. And I'm going to say the serve can hit the net, right? Because it can hit the top of the net as long as it goes over. And how about the referee blows the whistle? What else? The setter sets the ball. So we could go setter, sets, and then all the way here to ball. You don't need any words to connect those because the setter sets the volleyball. The back row mostly is going to be bumping. Let's try to find one more here. How about the setter sets for a spike? So setter, spike, sets for a spike. okay, or kill. So this is just the beginning of the connections you could make. You could also connect groups together. So I could take this whole group of people and connect it to another group. Or I could take the group of people and connect it to a word. So the connections don't only have to be from individual words, you can also include groups in your connecting. All right, so again, let me review. It's important that you use 3 colors. Okay, the first color, I did white. That was for the words themselves. The second color, the one that I did green, that was for the groups. And the final color that I did in yellow, that's for the connections, right? The arrows with the words written over the top of them. Okay, so you can choose any 3 colors you want, but just make sure there are 3 separate colors and they're used in this way. Okay, now remember, your 3 groups are going to be photosynthesis, cellular respiration, and both. And the sorting cards are going to be your guide to actually put the words in the right place. And you can write the words all over here. So you can write, words above, words below. In fact, I would suggest writing photosynthesis, cellular respiration, and both somewhere in the middle of your paper so there's more room around them. So you have all of those around here. And I should show those probably in a different color, but I'll just try to fix it up real quick here. How about I just highlight it to show you that it is a different color? Okay, so all of these are in your second color. And then once you get all of the words written in the correct place, next is where you have to do some thinking. Okay, you really have to decide what those connections are going to be. And your connections will be different from the group next to you. So, oops, we're still in highlighter. So the arrows, remember for this, need to be in a 3rd color. And there should be words on each arrow to help describe what you're trying to do. The arrows can be between the words in the group, even between groups. You can have arrows with the descriptions on them. So, if you have any questions on this, you can always ask, but I think this will be a pretty good start for your first attempt at a concept map for biology.